Well, good evening. Hey, welcome to episode 73 of Wise Advice. I'll give you a couple seconds to get logged in here, get everybody get in, get settled. But looks like 10:33, so had some computer difficulties that I wasn't anticipating, so that kind of caught me off guard. But here we are. We got a couple good emails to talk about. One of the things we know about this journey is that we've got to figure out why we're doing it, right? We have to figure out what drove us into the meeting room. We have to figure out more than anything. Hi, Linda. How are you? More than anything, we got to figure out why are we doing this. So I'll give you a second to get popped in. David's here. Linda's here. Hi, David. Good to see you. Steven's here. Good to see you, Steve. Hope all is well. Let's see. Jeff is here. Good to see you, Jeff. Linda's doing good. That's good to hear. So Mom's here. Mom's on the road somewhere. Judy. Hi, Judy. How are you? Robin's in. Good to see Robin. Katie pops in. Katie, you out running? Joan is in. Kaylin's in. Janet's in. Good to see you. Deborah's in. Look at all you guys checking in. Paul is in. Let's see. Catherine is in. Good to see you. Diane, hi. Joanne is in Arizona. Yeah, we're going to talk about this weekend. This weekend was busy. Sandy says hi from Georgia. Elizabeth is here. Yeah, we had a great weekend, and I'll talk about it probably a little bit in the live episode and then a little bit in the podcast. I'll kind of open up with that because, it was a nonstop weekend. It was all good, a lot of good stuff, but it was, I can't even tell you how sore I am right now. My legs hurt, my arms hurt. It was not a good attendance goal weekend. It was a performance goal weekend, so this is exactly what I talk about when I talk about attendance goals versus performance goals. If I had to do any of that over again tomorrow, I wouldn't be able to do it. I'm too sore to go run tomorrow. So I need a couple days off from running because of this weekend, but this was different because it was an event. So Teresa says hi from Kansas. Yeah, but no, totally. Joanne, that was kind of the fun thing. It's like, right, these muscles right here, whatever these are, way up top. These guys are really sore from doing some push-ups and stuff. Stacy's high. Neda, I think we talked about how I pronounced that last time, right or wrong. Dapper Dag. You already, yeah. So, okay, that Indie Ultimate was pretty cool. If you guys, don't go there now because I want you to watch this. But you did not, Stevie. You got the Facebook message right when you went to stress eat. Yeah, this is way better. So no stress eating. Stress eating does not help. So, all right. So what do you think? You guys ready to dive into the episode? I'll recap the weekend a little bit. We'll do that. I'll give you guys can see this. I can't put this on whatever. So, isn't that cool? Yep. Neetha, got it. All right, so this was the medal from Conquer Indy, they call it. The Indy Ultimate. So, yeah, it's pretty cool, and it's kind of heavy, too. You'll be able to hear it. So, but you guys, certainly I don't work for them, don't do anything with them, nothing like that. But if you're near Indy, it's worth, I would bet you, it's 7 miles. Joanne, sorry, it's 7 mile. We walked most of it because it was a group of us. But Marianne, hey. But if you're within 4 or 5 hours from Indianapolis, it's worth the drive for this event. I tell you that because you run into the football stadium, kick a field goal. You run the bases of the baseball park. You shoot a free throw at the basketball stadium. You kick a soccer goal at the soccer stadium. And you do all, so if you're within 4 or 5 hours of Indianapolis, it's worth the weekend to come in and do it. So, cool. Yeah, Kathy got this when I was in Boston last summer. So, it was like one of the first medium t-shirts I ended up buying, not knowing that I was really wearing them. I think when I bought it, it was a borderline too small, and now it's borderline too big. But it's a good problem to have. So, all right, well, let's go dive into this. Let's get it done. Water first, as we know. All right. Got that. There we go. Mic check 1 2. Check. Test 1 2. Test. Test 1 2. Perfect. Marianne, I may have gotten your voicemail. I didn't get into that inbox yet, but if it's in there, I will. I think I saw one pop in. I just haven't logged in over there yet. So, all right, here we go. Deep breath. I am your host, FatDag, and you're listening to Wise Advice. My weight loss journey failed when I focused on how. It wasn't until I switched my focus to why that I truly transformed myself. Join the show on the web at FatDag.com and follow along on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, all at Wise Advice. Send in your comments, your questions, and your celebrations, and I'll include them as part of the show. But before we dive in, remember, when you're out of points, stop eating points. Hey, I'm honored to be your wingman as we walk through this journey together because I believe in you. Well, hello there. Welcome to episode 73 of Wise Advice. And, I'm still trying to figure out a routine with this show. I do this because I absolutely love it. I've told you more than once, one of the greatest things about this journey for me was the fact that you guys believed in me early on before I believed in me. And what got me to goal was you guys carrying me to goal and you guys believing in me before I believed in me and me faking it long enough to please the Connect community. And then all of a sudden something clicked somewhere in the middle. For me, it was about 30, 40 pounds down before I finally went, I'm actually eating healthy on purpose. I'm actually making healthy choices on my own. And so with your belief and you carrying me to goal, it gives me no greater joy than to do this show for you, to give back to you, because what I know for me is when I got on Connect every single morning and I had people who believed in me, who were following me and who were keeping up with me, that got me to goal. And I knew that what that meant was I had to be focused every single day, every single meal. And this program, although I think it's the greatest program out there, boy, it's really hard to find that motivation from day to day. Once a week, many of us would leave our meetings and we'd be really on fire for a day or two or three after the meeting, but how do we get through an entire week? So that's why I really want to give this show back, but I continue to struggle to try and figure out a way to do it daily, because I know we need it daily, but I also know there's a live component that I love to do, and so we're just going to kind of just balance it out, right? We're just going to do what we do when we do. There's going to be days when you're going to need this. There's going to be days when you're going to have to find your own strength. And that balance together will carry us both to goal and keep us both at goal. So we just enjoy them when they're here. We take them when they're here. But I want to recap my weekend, because my weekend is one of those weekends that really solidifies for me why I had to persevere for as long as I did to get where I did. So it started off with a Friday night. Friday night, come home from work, we had a black tie boxing match, and as you saw on Connect and you saw on Facebook, I don't do black ties, right? I had a blue polka dotted tie with a green camouflage jacket, a pair of gray dress pants, and I put that on, and man, everything just fit. The anxiety, that I used to have before an event like this was just tremendous. It would be a day before the event, I would rush up to my closet and I would figure out what I'm going to wear. And I'd put things on and they didn't fit. And many times I would be running to the store at 7, 8 o'clock at night, the night before an event, to buy a larger shirt or to buy a larger jacket, to buy something that I didn't, that I only needed for that event. This time that was all gone. I knew everything in my closet was going to fit. So I put it on and it was zero anxiety about whether the clothes were going to fit. that's the first time in a long time that that's happened for me, that for a special event, and I was able to recognize it. So that's what's going to carry me to goal. That's what got me to goal. That's what's going to keep me at goal. And then, woke up Saturday morning, did the great event Friday night, raised a lot of money for charity. It was a fantastic event. Saturday morning, we'll get up, and we ran the Indy Ultimate. Now, the Indy Ultimate is a 7-mile race around Indianapolis. We run through Carroll Stadium and kick a soccer goal. You run into Bankers Life Fieldhouse, shoot a free throw. You run into Lucas Oil Stadium, kick a 20-yard field goal. You run along the canal. What else did we do? Ran up the stairs of the Indiana War Memorial, but it was a 7-mile race. So we kind of walked most of it. There was a group of us who were all Weight Watchers kind of doing it together. I think we had 8 of us out there. And so we wanted to stick together as a group. So I would run parts of it, walk parts of it. For the most part, walked most of it. But man, I'm still sore this morning after a good 7-mile run. So it continues to solidify me why the attendance goals are so important. Because I'm at the point now where I'm a little tired. I need a day or two off to kind of recover from this. But it was a fantastic weekend all in all. And so it reminds me of why I want to be at goal. I want to be at goal because I want my clothes to always fit. And I want to be at goal because at any moment I want to be able to go out and bust out a 7-mile run or a 7-mile walk and not at all miss the energy that I have to exert to do it. So great job there. It was fun. Had a blast. For all of those who came out, thank you for being there. And hopefully next year, put it on your calendar. I think it's, get out this time next year. It's the Indy Ultimate. So look for that, and I'll keep you posted there. So I'll start off with Lorie's email. Lorie's got a good email for us that says, "Hi, Mike. I had the most amazing feeling after listening to your podcast yesterday. My why clicked for me. I now know what it really is, and it's filled me with a fire in my belly that I have not had until now. Because you have been so instrumental in my program over the last few months, I want to share my story and my why with you. The first time I can remember being out of control with my weight was when I was 12 years old. My parents had just gotten divorced, and my brother and I moved with my mom from Idaho to California. I gained 50 pounds in the first 6 months I was there. I have struggled with food and weight ever since. This is my first time on Weight Watchers, but not my first time losing weight. The first time I lost 80 pounds on my own by counting calories. At some point, I decided to stop, and the weight slowly crept back on over the following years. I didn't get back up to my highest weight of 250, but put on about 50 of what I had lost. The second time, I lost about 50 pounds through a 12-step program for food addicts. I started to struggle with some of the people and some of the food philosophies in the program, and I decided I could just take the food plan and do it on my own. Over the next 6 months, old habits slowly crept back in, and I started putting weight back on and eventually gave up completely. After that, I had gained about 60 pounds in 4 months. Over the next few years, I tried all kinds of things, none for very long and none with very much success. Just yo-yoing 10 or 20 more pounds over and over and over again. 6 months before starting Weight Watchers, I was the highest weight I had been since losing the initial 80 pounds. At 243, I felt desperate to lose weight, and every time I looked in the mirror or at a picture, I hated myself. What I realize now is that my desperation was really to be in control of my own choices, rather than the food being in control of me. My weight was just an extension of that struggle. I lost about 15 pounds on my own before coming to Weight Watchers. But the morning of November 1st, 2015, I knew I was out of control again and on my way to putting it all back on. That morning, I woke up early, got on the internet, found my way to the Weight Watchers website. I'm actually not sure what led me there, other than perhaps desperation and God. I didn't actually think it was possible anymore. I felt doomed to fail and rid this crazy, out-of-control roller coaster for the rest of my life. I was desperate enough that I was willing to try anyway. I signed up for a 3-month pass, figuring that it was enough time to know whether or not I could hack it or not. Then I found a meeting and I went that morning. Immediately, I felt at home at the meeting and really connected with the leader. It didn't take long before I found hope and success with Weight Watchers. With relative ease, I lost 60 pounds in my first year. Slow and steady and sane, I fell in love with Weight Watchers. And I started to fall in love with myself too. Since January, I gained back over 7 pounds. I've fallen into the complacency trap. I felt a lot better. I looked a lot better. But mentally, I was starting to flail. Same old story. Food and the scale ruling me rather than the other way around. My greatest success over this time is that I never gave up. I stayed and I struggled because at this point it is clear to me where I will end up if I quit. I've been down that road enough times and I never want to go there again. Your podcast was a game changer for me. Listening to you, I found my way back to refocusing and recommitting to the program. In May, I was a track star and accumulated 27 blue dots. Never going into the negative on my weeklies, I simply stopped eating points when I ran out of points. Last night driving home as I listened to your podcast, my real, deep down why clicked for me. It isn't directly about my weight. It's that I don't want to feel desperate, hopeless, and completely out of control like that again. I want to be the decider for my life, my food, and my weight. I want to feel good about how I take care of myself. There are so many reasons why being at a healthier and eventually healthy weight is great, but the bottom line for me isn't the number on the scale or my clothes. It's being able to believe in myself and feel proud of who I am, to never look in the mirror and feel hatred in my heart over what I see because of the part I played in getting myself there. I've got 25 to 40 pounds to go until I reach goal. I won't know where it is exactly until I get there because I've never been those weights in my adult life. I will get there when I get there. My why is already here, and it keeps me in today. It keeps me in this meal, and it will lead me to goal. I'm going to print this letter out and hang it up where I can see it in order to remind myself daily because it's so easy to forget. I've learned that lesson multiple times too. So thank you so much for helping me find my why and my way. You are an awesome, inspirational human being, and I am forever grateful to you that you crossed my path. Wow, that was Lorie. That was great, and so here's where I want to go with this. And I understand exactly where you are, and so your story is one that I read a lot, and it's one that I even actually got to live. Is we think for so many different ways that we can do this on our own, and it's hard to do it on our own. We need this constant team of people together, working together for a same common goal, and to strategize together and to help each other so that we can get to goal. So, in your scenario, 12 years old is the very first time that you remember. So for a lot of us, it starts around that time frame too. I was fortunate; it was the college years for me, but when my weight started getting out of control. But to live with this your entire life makes hitting goal seem impossible. Because the longer we've been overweight, we have no idea what it looks and feels like to be at goal. So as you say, you go through this process, and you say you're trying to, you got 25 to 40 to you reach goal, and you won't know exactly where it is. That's exactly right. We don't know. Goal is defined as you are in control of your choices, you are in control of your food, and you're hopping on the scale, not wanting to lose any weight. That's what you're striving for. You have a very, very powerful story. You have a very strong why, and you're in tune with your why. The freedom that comes from being in control of your food, that is what goal is. You're going to get there. I believe you can get there. I know you can get there. I'm glad we crossed paths because what I need us to do, I need us to continue to stay in tune, stay together, stay working at it. The fact that you've never given up is absolutely your greatest success. Because we know every time we give up, it doesn't take away our why. The reason you joined will never ever go away until you solve it. The way to solve it is to get to goal. And that's the power that you have. Because now you know more than anything. You know after the multiple attempts that you've tried, you know that the only thing giving up does is gives you a new start date. Generally, the start date is at a higher weight or a weight we're really not happy with. So the fact that you now know that that giving up is not going to work for you will carry you to goal. There will be good days, there will be bad days, but there will always be days where you're mindful. So thanks for your email. Keep up the great work. You're doing fantastic work. As I said earlier, I absolutely believe in you because as I read through your email, I can hear the victory. I can hear the victory in the tone in your email that says you've got this, and it's just a matter of time. So thank you. Keep up the great work. Paul writes in, he says, I finally did it. I've been waiting to see this number on the scale for so long. Original weight 260 pounds. Current weight 199.4. When I graduated college 5 years ago, I almost got to Wonderland, but life happens and I only ever got to 201. Fast forward to Christmas this year and I saw 229 on the scale and I realized I gained back almost half of my progress. I went from 260 to 201, working so hard, and was now back to feeling horrible and uncomfortable in all of my clothes. I started this round of my journey with a new mindset. I promised myself to go to a meeting every single week for a year. I told myself that I just stuck with it and put in the work, that I would be pleased with the results. I promised to have patience and to understand that ups and downs are just part of the process. I promised myself that when I got married in July, I could not let my weight ruin that special day like it has ruined so many others. I promised myself that this time I was going to do it for me. I wanted to do this for myself. It hasn't been easy, and I've gotten extremely frustrated, but I've been to 24 meetings in a row spanning 3 different states, going to weigh in every week, even sometimes knowing a big gain was coming. That made all the difference. Accountability is key. Good or bad, you have to face the results of the week, accept them, and realize that now your focus shifts to the next weigh-in. I set a reasonable goal and I gave myself 8 months to go from 229 to 199. I am happy to say that today I hit that goal with about 7 weeks to spare. I now know that my weight will not interfere with my wedding day, and I can give my full attention to my beautiful fiancée and celebrate being the luckiest man on the planet. Going to meetings, doing this for me, having patience, taking a long-term approach, and the support from Connect have been game changers for me this time around. This journey certainly is not over, but hitting this milestone is something I've been working towards for 5 years, and I'm pumped. I know I can do it. I can't wait to see where I eventually end up in this health and fitness journey, but I'm enjoying the process. I can do this for life. Success is neither magical nor mysterious. Success is the natural consequences of consistently applying the basic fundamentals, says Jim Rohn. And so he says then at the end, P.S. if you wanted to laugh at some irony, every morning for the past 3 weeks, I brought my phone to the bathroom ready to snap a picture of the 199. Last night, my fiance and I had our wedding cake tasting, so I did not bring my phone in because 199 was obviously not happening. As soon as I saw the number on the scale this morning, I fumbled around trying to get my phone and open up the camera while yelling, "I did it!" to myself. Thank you all, Paul. Paul, dude, that is absolutely well done. And so I'll kind of rephrase on your PS part. What I thought was really beautiful is when you hopped on the scale, hoping didn't bring your camera with you this time. The thing you need to know is that the one thing in this journey we cannot control is the number on the scale. So when we set goals and we say, I want to be this number by this date, we can't control what those numbers are. We can't control what they look like. All we can do is control ourselves and how we work the plan. So what I loved about your story was that you weren't expecting it, and then all of a sudden, boom, it came to the surprise to give you that realization that no, we can't control the scale. And that was just more proof in your journey that we can't do that. So all you can do is control your habits. Your habits is what got you here. Man, I'm so proud of you. The thing that I'm most proud of is that when you said that you don't want this weight to interfere with your wedding day. How many times have I said, I try and go to an event and I say I want to lose so much weight by this and this event, and the event comes and that morning of I'm not an ideal weight, and I hate it, and I get so frustrated, and a lot of times it ruins the event for me. So you're not going to let that do that. That is incredible. So what I like is that you promised yourself that when you say you get married, you're not going to let the weight ruin it. That's a great job. The key part is that you said to yourself, I promised myself to go to a meeting every week. Just stick with it. Spanning 3 states, I did the same thing. I went to a meeting in Georgia. I went to a meeting in Mississippi. And then of course up in Indianapolis. But I never missed a meeting during my weigh-in time. Just like you, I said, whatever the number is, I needed to set an attendance goal. The goal for me was to never miss a meeting, and that's what got me to goal. That's what's going to get you to goal. No matter what the scale shows up as, we're mindful to the process. We're very much in the game, and you got there. So keep up the great work. I really, really am honored to sit here and talk to you over, weeks before your wedding, that your fiance and you're just going to have the most magical moment where you truly can focus on everything about that day that's important. Everything that would have inhibited you, that would have potentially interfered with your day, is gone. Right? It's gone because you got rid of it. You took care of it and you got it done. Now we got to continue on this path, continue to reach with the goals you want to get at. You have the ability to get this done because you've proven it at this point. If you've gotten to 199, you've gotten to Wonderland, don't ever give that back. Keep up the great work. Mary writes in and says, "Hi, Dag. First of all, many thanks for your service to our country and to the Weight Watchers community. Also, please accept my condolences on the recent death of your beloved dog, Abby. Your podcast has been a tremendous help to me in the last few weeks since I've rejoined Weight Watchers. I'm a 41-year-old wife and a mom of 4-year-old identical boys. It seems that I've been struggling with my weight for the last 20 years. I have gained and lost, joined and stopped Weight Watchers and other programs, and somehow, after all these years, I still don't have my head on straight when it comes to my health. I've been doing some good work this time. Over the last few months, I've made a change every couple of weeks. First, I got my sleep on track, then I started a healthier eating plan, then I started running again, and then I joined Weight Watchers. I'm also working with an endocrinologist who did a full blood panel on me, as well as a therapist. Weight Watchers meetings and your podcast, as well as talking with my mom and mother-in-law, also a fellow Weight Watchers, are also a great help. I've been trying to put my why into words, and all that I can come up with is that I don't feel like myself. I just want to feel like myself again, but today, while out on a run, I realized that for me, I need to focus on my what rather than my why. In the first 2 weeks on Weight Watchers, I lost 8.5 pounds. This week, I lost 0.0. But this week, I think I learned the most so far. I'm going to focus on my what. My what is that I need to get my head straight. For too long, I've equated self-care with overeating. I have equated exercise with punishment. What I need to do is to change the way that I see self-care. Self-care means that I follow the plan, trying flavorful and healthier new recipes and enjoying them mindfully. Self-care means that I go running with my abilities because it makes my brain feel good. Self-care means that I reach out to friends, try new craft projects, and fully engage in my life now, not when I accomplish some weight loss goal. I want to sincerely thank you for your podcast. I'm sure that is a ton of work, but I want to let you know that your words of wisdom are really helping me do the work that I need to on this journey, which for me starts up the old noggin. By the way, I'm setting a goal for myself this summer. I'm going to cook at least 12 recipes from the summer section of the year-round fresh cookbook. I will post them all on Connect. Well, Mary, this is exactly it. The mind is what controls this journey. The part of this journey that is the hardest to wrestle with is the mind. It's why I say we focus on the why. If you know why you're doing this, then the how shows up. So in your case, is you're saying you're going to focus on the what. I believe what you're saying. As I read through your email, I believe the what and the why are very similar. You are trying to find yourself. You are not happy with your current self, even though you know what you're capable of. You've made some fantastic progress. You've started slow, making some slow, permanent changes to your lifestyle. That is powerful. And so when you sit here and you say, you've gone, over the last few months, you've made a change every couple of weeks. And so as you make those changes, they become permanent. So for far too long, you've equated self-care with overeating, which as we know is not the truth. And then the beautiful part of your email is when you said, I've equated exercise with punishment. And that's a great analogy, right? A lot of us, how often when you're in high school gym, if you do something wrong, the first thing they do is make you run laps around the gym. If your baseball team loses a game, the coach makes you stay after and you run laps around the bases or you run laps around the field, right? So for a lot of us, exercise has been punishment our entire life. So it's why I say we set attendance goals when we do this, because we don't need to set a performance goal. What I want us to get to do, and I don't even want to say it's exercise. And I want to say you just want to continue to do something more. You want to move a little more. So exercise, when we say a lot of times, we say exercise, it means you're putting on gym shorts. It means you're putting on gym shorts. It means you're putting on sneakers. But what you can do and still get exercise, as we don't call it exercise, is you go in the side door to your office. You park 3 doors down or 3 parking spaces down. You just get up and you walk to the mailbox the long way. Or you just go walk around the house. All that stuff is movement, not necessarily exercise. The more you do that, the more then exercise starts to be fun, because you start be able to do more. So you're doing absolutely great work. You have the ability to do this. I'm honored to be able to walk this journey with you. I'm honored to do this podcast. It's one of the ways that I truly want to give back to the community, a community that saved my life. You're plugged in, and your life is going to be in the same place. If you have a healthy mind, you can have a healthy body. Right? Yvette just tells me that, and I see it on Facebook. A lot of times I do this show live on Facebook as well. So if you're on Facebook, you can catch the show live. And so as I read them, I see comments from you. And so Yvette just writes in and says, the healthy mind is a healthy body. So Mary, as you work on your mind, the body catches up. So again, I just want to say, great work. You absolutely have the ability to do this. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep focusing. Keep staying plugged in. The fact that you found comfort in talking with those who are walking the journey with you is powerful. Stay in the Connect. Find folks on Connect who are working the journey the same way you are. Get plugged in and stay motivated. Last but not least, Noah writes in and says, thank you for your show. It's helping me get through a rough patch where the end currently is not yet in sight. Well, Noah, we talked through email, and what I want to say to your email is, again, like I told everybody else, I'm completely honored to do this. I'm honored to be here. I'm honored that you have the ability to get tuned in, and that we can reach out and we can connect with each other and we can work on this journey together. So it's an honor for me to do the show. Thank you for tuning in. Folks, I want to know what it is that you're celebrating. I want to know what questions you have. I want to know what you're going through, where you struggle, where you need to get a better focus. Because we know if we stay focused, we can do anything. This journey is absolutely doable. I believe you can do it. I know you can do it because I look at the folks on Connect who are getting it done, and all of us have just stayed with it long enough to find the results that we need. So, getting healthy and getting fit is one of those things that we don't really think about. It's kind of like retirement, right? You don't think about retirement until you start getting close to retirement, but now we start focusing on our health now before it's too late. So tell me your celebrations, your questions, your comments. I'll work them in as part of the show because I believe in you. I want you to be proud of what you're doing, and I want to share them so that other people can know what it is that's possible. They can see the success. They can see the struggles. They know that they're not alone, and we can work the program together. Well, that's going to do it for this time. So remember that losing weight and getting healthy has nothing to do with luck. You have to remain disciplined and focused. Set your sights on your goal and go after it. I wish you good focus. Wow, that one went 27 minutes. Woo! Yeah, Robin, that it's hot in here. That first one from Lorie was really good, and it was longer than the normal ones that I want to read, but it was powerful. And so I wanted to make sure we got it in. All right, let me scroll back up. Let's see. Let me scroll all the way to the beginning. I'm going to scroll back to the beginning, so I'll come back to the bottom. I just saw Christy's email in, but let me go back up here and see what I missed. You got a lot of comments. You guys were very active tonight. Good work. Good work. I'm still scrolling. Hang on. Man. All right, here we are. Whew. So Jane says hi. Wendy's in Florida. Paula says, yay, I found you live. Woo! Paula, live is awesome. Yes to the Indie Ultimate. Yep. Okay, going. Sandy's very nice. Thank you, Sandy. Okay, here we go. Yvette says she's also struggled since she was 10 or younger, never to reach goal, and you are going to reach it this time. I believe it, right? Because that's all it takes. It just takes a declaration. I'm going to do this. So great work. Adriana says hi. Deidre says, Aaron showed me your transformation. Amazing. I'm intrigued by how you did it. So Deidre, go to fatdag.com, and my website documents my entire journey. So you can see if you click on the weight loss tab, you'll see my weigh-in every single week. I weighed in, let me see if I can pull it up here, but I weighed in every single week. I didn't miss a weigh-in. So let's see. Here it is. So yeah, so click on the weigh-in tab on fatdag.com and you'll see how I did it. So very cool. Let's see. Linda says hi. Oh, I'm glad. Thank you, Linda, for being here. It's kind of fun is I get that comment a lot and I don't know how to answer it. When someone says you're a huge inspiration, because the only thing I can say to that is if you believe that, if I am inspiring you, then the thing you need to know more than anything is that I'd never quit. And so it doesn't matter what I did, doesn't matter how I did it. What matters is I never gave up on it, and I'm never going to give up on it. So use that. Very good. So Donna says hi, and then we go talk all about the mindset. Yeah, it's we're at war with our brain. And Catherine says that attendance at the meetings is key to long-term success, which is absolutely true. So yeah, so here, Catherine, now I'm going to expound on that for a little bit. So Catherine says that when we know we're up, we a lot of times we skip our meeting, and if we skip our meeting, we think we can kind of lose some weight and then go to the meeting next week, so the scale doesn't ever see the victory, or sorry, the gain, and that doesn't work. I mean, years and years and years of practice of seeing myself do it, it never works. And I even see it in my meeting room, people that don't do it. And I think a lot of times if you're up, you're afraid to go back. And I can tell you as a leader, there's nothing happier is when we see people who come in with a gain, and we, within reason, right? But we see them come in with a gain. The fact that they're there is powerful. And so I'm most proud of those people when they show up. And then let's figure out what it is, and let's make sure it doesn't show up week after week after week. But the fact that you got there is huge. So Jeffrey, thanks for that. I have a pop filter. This microphone has a built-in one. I don't know how bad it is. I'll have to listen to it again. But but the microphone has a built-in one, they say. And I have one on this microphone back here. This is a pop filter for those who don't know. So I guess I could put it on here, but I don't think it's needed, but I'm willing to check it out. I'll figure it out. So very, very cool. Diane says she played mind games with myself sometimes, right? I think we all do. I think that's part of this journey, is that we play mind games with each other or with our own brains. So Christy says never ran to school. She flunked gym. That's not fun, is it? So imagine, Christy, when you get to the point now when I don't know where you're at, but if running is on your radar, years from now or months from now, imagine the feeling that'll give. Very, very cool. So Marianne says, get the head right and the body follows. So Lisa says, struggling with self-love, and that is, at least I'll take a second to talk about that, because I think that's powerful. I don't know which episode I talk about it in, so I apologize, but there was a point in my journey where I finally just said, you know what, I'm going to accept who I am, I'm going to accept what I look like, and then I'm going to change it. When you get to that point, that's when the real change starts happening, because you have to love yourself first on this journey. You have to love yourself enough to be able to forgive yourself and to keep going. So at least I would say, it is obviously you've done a lot of amazing things in your life. The things that you've done, you need to celebrate. You need to look for all the positive things and know that that is what defines you, who you are. And so the second that you start turning into believing in you and loving you, then you can accept who you are, and then you make a change. And that'll help you carry you and power you through to goal. Deidre, how much does sleep play into weight loss? I don't know at all. I did hear a podcast the other day where a lady who was a coach who talks about weight loss, she said the number one thing you can do is sleep. But here we are at 11:12, and it's going to take me another 20 minutes to get the show published. So I don't follow that advice, even though it sounds like it would be fun. So Jane says, hi, that's my Aunt Jane. Hi Aunt Jane. You should go to bed. Yeah, so don't let your rebellious nature start rebelling against the plan. Stick with it. All right, let's see. Teresa says, thanks for sharing. You're welcome. Sandy, their podcasts are helpful. I'm glad you're glad of it. Yep. Let's see. Here we go. Cool. So Adriana says she listens to the podcast every night before bed. So I'm glad that I've heard that a lot. People fall asleep listening to me. I think it makes me laugh, right? I'm glad I'm putting people to sleep. Donna says, and I'm kidding because I know what you mean. Donna says, missed the weekly meeting. Tried to find one where I went. 42 miles away was the closest one. So, that makes it tough when the meetings are not close. So that's another reason that the podcast helps, right? Because you can just tune in when you want, when you need to. So Jeff says, sometimes you struggle with body image. However, have to remember that how good you feel after a 4 or 5 mile walk and you bike 6 miles on a weekend and not feeling like you want to collapse. Yeah. I think body image is one of those things that will never go away. Because there's even times, like, I was looking at pictures of my race this weekend, and there was a couple pictures in there that I didn't really care for, and I was like, oh man, that's a bad angle. And that one really was a bad angle. I'm standing at the side, I'm like, oh, it looks like terrible. So I don't think we're ever going to love our body image the way that we think, a supermodel or some fitness expert's body looks. So I just don't compare. And so I do go to the fact that I just ran 7 miles, or I just walked 7 miles. I ran quite a bit during it. So I just celebrate the things that I can do and not care about what the things that can't do are or aren't. So, Leah, you're very welcome. Yep. The meetings that I lead are on my website. If you go to FatDag.com, click on the event tab, you'll see all of my meetings and speaking engagements are there. So that's where those are. Kathy, so hard to make myself a priority. Yes, it is. Yeah, that is that's like, on an airplane, put your oxygen mask on first. Yep. And that is something you've got to do. You've got to take care of you more than anything. If you take care of you, the rest works. So cool. All right. Well, I made it to the bottom here, so I'm going to go ahead and get the show published so that it can hit your app, so you can actually have the actual audio version. Those of you obviously on Facebook, you don't need the show because you've already heard it. But I'll put this on YouTube as well. And so that's going to kind of do it. So here, I just want to continue to, it's a Sunday night. Go out and have a great week. You have the ability to own this week. You have the ability to make some significant changes in your life. And so just persevere. I promise you the struggles that you are going to go through, all will be worth it when you get to goal. When you step on that scale for the very last time, wanting to lose weight and hoping that you don't lose weight actually, it's incredibly freeing. So you have the ability to get there. I know you can. I want you to get there. It takes focus. It takes discipline. So I wish you, more than anything, I wish you good focus. Have a good night.